So it's time for another release of pjsProfileBars. Been a few months since the last one. There are some fixes in this version as well as some performance improvements and some nice new features. So as usual, I'll just try and run through those briefly. You can get the upgrade from the website. The download has already been updated. Just download, reinstall in the normal way. Just be sure to answer yes to overwrite the existing pjsProfileBars components when you install it. As usual, just from the tools, import, NinjaScript add-on. You don't need to overwrite the templates if prompted. They haven't changed, but just make sure you overwrite the program parts. You'll probably need to restart NinjaTrader afterwards, and then you should be set. So I'll just try and run through some of these. We have improve right click. What you used to actually have to do is left click on the indicator and then right click in order to get the menu, and then there are a list of options, which was not quite so convenient. Now you can in fact just right click anywhere at all on the chart where the indicator is installed, and there's a pjsProfileBars drop down there. It's much easier and quicker to get to, and you don't have to select on the right part of the indicator first. And changing the settings this way means your changes are immediate. There's no need to have to go into indicators, find your setting, change it, have NinjaTrader reload the chart, and so on. So just a lot more convenient. Turn that back off. Remote indicator for telemetry and charts, we will go through that one in a minute. Performance metric gauges, the main indicator, that's the same. Fix, delta change, yeah. This one was just to change some of the native text labels to help integration with some third-party tools that some of the users use. Minor change. Volume flow study to direct data grid. What this is a version of on-balance volume. If you enable it in the data grid, we can do that here. So a very slow virtual machine. I find the data grid section. So we have on-balance volume and the on-balance volume average. To give you these extra couple of lines here, it's very similar to the traditional on-balance volume study. It's not particularly well reflected in this chart. The main purpose for this was on smaller time frame charts where you get a lot of noise. And what the on-balance volume lines here will do, you'll see that they're green, solid green, and they slowly fade over to red. They will change intensity depending on the volume going into down and up bars. On the small noisy bars, you'll often find fast pullbacks with very little volume. Very easy for traders to get kind of faked out into thinking it is an actual change in direction when it is in fact just a very low volume pullback, which is normal. The OBV tends to be quite good at spotting those, and if you pay attention to where the flip is as opposed to where the initial move is, you may find it valuable. I certainly find it very valuable on the range and Renko type charts on the lower time frames, so do give it a look, see if it fits in with your strategy. Fix. Minor performance improvements. Rendering performance. There's a minor feature on the change list and something you will not actually have any visible indication of. but a huge amount of work actually went into this one, and I will show you how to turn the option on. This option is off by default, just in this initial release, for reasons that it is a considerable amount of code and work and complexity. It's worth it, but I wanted to ensure that it's stable across a very wide range of people's machines before enabling it. So there is an option here that says enable caching. I've got it on here. It will probably be off by default in your install, but I would encourage you to go and turn it on and only turn it off if you see any problems, and if you do see any problems, please report them. But with this on, your rendering performance within NinjaTrader will be significantly improved, and when I say significantly, I really do mean it. It's a partial implementation at this time, just to test the waters and see how it goes for everybody. I've been running it in various guys here for about 6 months. It is perfect for me. As I say, you won't notice any difference in the display. If you have the performance options on, you may notice your data grid redraw times go down very, very considerably. It's not a standard feature in NinjaTrader, it's all custom coded for this project. I'll probably port more of it along to other projects and other parts of this indicator in due course, but this is an initial release to the public of it. Don't believe it's got any comparable anywhere else, including within NinjaTrader, so it was an interesting project, that one. Improve ML interface for upcoming features. Again, another part of the software which you're not going to see anything visually at this time, but I have been doing a lot of work on the ML backends for integration with pjsProfileBars. And there was some work there to accommodate those features when they get released. I think we're finally at the stage where we have useful ML now with proven statistical edges. So I'm looking to try and integrate those into this product and let people, get the advantage of them. It will be a separate plugin. It probably will, unfortunately, come at some additional cost, but not for existing users. The amount of work that's gone into this probably spans years, so it will also be limited availability. But all existing users are covered, so don't worry about that. So let's look at the big visual one for this release, which are the gauges. I'll turn them on this chart. Sorry, bear with me. So we just go to the gauges section. For gauges to work, they use time and sales telemetry. So before gauges will work, you do need to go to the time and sales, which there have been some minor changes to. You need to ensure enable is on, and you need to ensure calculate time and sales metrics is on. If you don't want to show the actual time and sales on your chart, you can make sure this show time and sales text is off. That is a new option that wasn't there before. Excuse me. And the same with the power meter. But if you do not have these two options on, all the additional calculations won't be done to preserve performance because you don't need them, and your gauges actually won't work. So now we have those two on. We'll go back to the gauges part. We will choose to show ticks, volume, delta, and we will show them horizontally. There we go. Just apply that, and we get these dials. We can actually change the size of those. You can adjust their positions here if you want to. Positive or negative, it's up to you. just move them around the screen to wherever you need them to go. There is an option to show them vertically, and you can even, if you don't like the traditional gauge, you can actually show them as rectangles. So the idea behind these, obviously here we have volume delta and ticks, two separate things, both actually useful. You can see in this dial here our volume delta is basically balanced, changing. With the dial half red, half blue, and the value in the middle 0, obviously you're even. You can choose whether to display the value or not as well. What we found actually is that pjsProfileBars is commonly deployed, including in my own circumstances, on slightly longer time frame charts, and entries may typically be made on much smaller time frame charts, and it wasn't so great to have to look back at this chart and take your eyes off the short time frame chart. So what we did is build a completely new indicator, which is included in the distribution for the pjsProfileBars. We'll add that to the chart now. So now you have pjsProfileBar gauges. If I add this to the chart, you have a similar set of options here as on the main indicator. We can OK that, and that pulls its telemetry from this indicator here. So you must have the pjsProfileBars running on the instrument that you're putting the remote gauges on, and the time and sales metrics must be enabled. Speed that up a little bit so it actually does something. You can see the gauges moving now. It's all 100% real time. There's no delays here. There's no waiting for price ticks and bar completions or anything. But the advantage of this is you get to see the volume delta and the ticks and the volume on your fast entry chart without having to refer back to this one. And of course these are very reactive, so it helps you gauge turning points. So again, all the same options are available in the remote that are available in the main indicator, but this indicator has pretty much zero overhead in terms of NinjaTrader resources. It is only pulling data from the main instance of the indicator that is already running. So traditionally with Ninja you would probably put an entire copy of the indicator on here again, which just bogs down your system. It's not a good idea. So that's the remote. So the remote is free, it's included in the main distribution, and please let me know how you get on with it if you decide to use it. I think that's about it for this one. Yes, it is. Everything else is just minor. There's some very interesting things planned, as I say, particularly on the ML side. Hopefully we get to those in the next 6 months or so. Thanks for your support, and enjoy the upgrades.